hear a fan, yeah, that's her. Yeah, Sabina, yeah. All right, what is up, y'all? As y'all can see, we back with another video. I'm super excited to be sitting here recording this video because I just like doing YouTube. And we made 100 subscribers. I was literally about to say 100,000 subscribers, but we have made it to 100 subscribers. I'm super excited. Now the goal is 500 subscribers. So if you're not subscribed, take a moment, like, comment, subscribe. So as y'all saw by the title of the video, this video is going to be about intentionality. And I love talking about being intentional. You're probably going to hear me say it so many times. But today I really wanted to really dive into what it means to be intentional and what comes with being intentional, because along with so many different self-love practices or growth practices, we oftentimes like to talk about, you know, the good, the glamour, the amazingness of what it feels like to grow, but the nitty gritty of it sometimes does not look how you may think it may look. So I hope that this video helps somebody in their journey of self-love, of self-growth, that is navigating through trying to be intentional, but things are coming up and you're like, oh, whoa, I was not expecting this to happen. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all see me looking over to the side, it's because I have my notes on my computer. Now, I will tell you, my computer is a dinosaur. We don't have a MacBook yet. Okay, so if you hear a fan, yeah, that's her. Yeah, Sabina, yeah, that's her. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is what it really means to be intentional. And I decided, because I was being intentional, to go and look up the word intentional. What is intentional? Literally, the crazy thing is that in medicine, it is the healing process of a wound. In medicine, it is the healing process of a wound. And the reason why I put that down, because I'm like, wow, I never knew that, but that makes sense. Like, when you think about it spiritually, when you're being intentional, you really are healing the wounds that, you know, you've dealt with, you know, whether they're childhood traumas or you dealing with an ex or whatever the case may be. But it also means with intent or plan. And for me, I feel like intentionality is really an umbrella term for so many other things, And discipline falls under intentionality. Discipline is a huge thing that falls under intentionality, because you have to think, if you're being intentional about what you're doing, you have to have the discipline to say no to certain things. But we're going to get into that. So I really wanted to talk about why I started to become intentional, or why I decided to move more intentionally. One, I realized that, and this is like within the last couple of months, this year, honestly, I realized that I was saying that I wanted something and I was doing the complete opposite. And especially in my self-love journey, I had to become aware of the things that I was doing for comfort in that moment that weren't really helping me in the long run or showing myself love, right? And so when I started to think of those things, I'm like, well, I had to literally question every decision I was making. Like, is this something that is going to help me in the long run, or is this something that I'm just doing out of comfort? Is this situation making me uncomfortable, which is making me do other things out of comfort just to seek comfort, or am I allowing myself the uncomfortability so I can get through it and learn through it? You know what I'm saying? And also, you have to understand that we serve an intentional God. Like, God is the most intentional being ever. Like, and so when you really understand that and you really seek to be more like Jesus, more like God, it's like, oh, I need to, it's a necessity for me to be intentional. I cannot go through this life without being intentional. Now, I'll give you an example, just to like kind of like reel it in a little bit. So let's think of it like you're going to the gym, right? Your goal is to, let's say, lose weight. Your goal is to lose weight. You say, you know what, I'm going to go to the gym 5 times a week. That's an intentional thought. That's an intentional action. Okay, cool. You leave in the gym, however, and you're going to McDonald's for 3 meals. You are eating out. You're eating unhealthy. You're snacking. Is that really intentional to the goal of you losing weight? Absolutely not. So that's when you have to assess, okay, hold on. What am I doing in my life that is not intentional to the goal that I am trying to complete, right? And so what I want you guys to understand is that when you're being intentional, it requires a lot of reflection. Like, you have to reflect. And when I say reflect, you have to face the good, the bad, and the ugly parts of yourself. Because most of the time, you know, we like to blame others and say, oh, like this happened because of them and da 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 da. But we also have to assess, what did we do in this situation, or how are we contributing to the hurt that we may feel? How are we contributing, or what did we do to get ourselves into this situation? Where did I lack the intentionality that got me to this point that I don't want to be, you know? And so when you have that time to reflect, you have to understand that reflection is key, because you can't truly know how to be intentional without first taking a step back. Literally, intentionality requires you to step outside of what you're going through and say, if I was looking at this, or I was watching somebody else do this, would I think that that would lead to the goal that they're trying to accomplish? Let's say, for example, a self-love journey. If you're on a self-love journey and you know that talking to your ex is one thing that makes you feel comfortable in that moment, but every single time you finish talking to that person, you're like, why did I do that? Now you're pitying yourself, you're hating yourself. And so if you were looking at somebody do that to themselves, if you were looking at your friend do that to themselves, would you not say, friend, listen, I don't think that you should be doing that, right? I don't think that is healthy for you and your goals to try to love yourself if every single time you talk to this person, it results in you putting self-hate, self-pity on yourself. So let's not do that. You have to do that same thing with yourself. That's number one. Now, understanding that being intentional may make you feel extra. And extra is necessary. Okay, now what do I mean? Let's take, because intentionality can literally go with anything, okay? So let's say, you know, you're somebody that's trying to watch what they eat, right? You're somebody that's trying to watch what they eat, and you're like, you know what, in order for me to watch what I eat and really be mindful of what I eat every single day, if this is what works for you, this is just an example. Every single day, I'm gonna write down what I'm eating so I can kind of see, okay, today I did pretty good. Yesterday, I ate out a couple of times. You may feel like that's doing a lot. Like, that's a little bit extra. But you have to understand, you have to put that work in. Intentionality is work. Like, you have to think until you don't have to think. You have to be mindful of what you're doing until those things come automatic to you. Okay, so first thing, reflection. Second thing, it is going to take you to being a little bit extra. Being intentional may mean choosing you. Oh my God. When I tell y'all, these last 6 months have been me choosing me in so many situations. And guess what? When you choose you, guess what? Not everybody around you is going to be happy about that decision. People are going to start looking at you like you selfish. People are going to look at you like, how dare you? Like, are you crazy? Like, you're going to choose to do what's best for you? And what about me in this situation? When you choose you, you have to understand that sometimes people are going to get hurt. People are going to get disappointed. And I literally watched a video that said, literally, when you're choosing you, when you're doing other things and you're being intentional about where you want to go and where God is taking you, other people are going to be disappointed, but that is not your duty to feel that hole of disappointment. That's not your duty to make them feel better, because I'm sorry, I'm going to have to let God handle it, because in this moment, I cannot continue to choose what's best for you. I have to choose what's best for me, or it's not going to be good between me and you. Now, you have to understand, in choosing you, some people may start to fall off, because if people are not in that same mindset as you or understand the concept of boundaries, they're not going to understand why you think it's okay to choose you. They're going to automatically make you feel selfish for choosing you, and you're not. You're just being intentional about where you want to go. And that just meant in that moment, or in these moments, I had to choose what the option that was best for me. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Okay, now, I kind of said this in the beginning. When you choose to be intentional, it may not make sense to everyone. Literally just said that. And you have to look at the life of Jesus. If you really think about the life of Jesus, right? God was intentional. God was intentional when he sent Jesus, right? Jesus was on a mission to save our souls, okay? He knew from the moment he got here, he knew that he was going to have to die on the cross. He knew that was his life mission, to die on the cross. Now, everybody may be looking like, no, in that time, I was probably looking at him like, what? Like, you're going to die on a cross? Like, what? Like, why would you do that? Like, but God knew every single thing that he did, every single thing that Jesus did was for it to be finished. It is finished. So he came to that moment where he would be crucified and say, it is finished, for our lives to be saved. Just to bring it a little Bible, bring it to the Bible a little bit. You have to understand that God is an intentional God. Jesus was intentional, and we need to be intentional as well. In this period of intentionality, you may feel isolated, but you have to look at this isolation as a period of God pruning every single thing in your life that no longer serves you. When you're intentional about where you want to go and in a positive direction, things are gonna start falling off. Habits that you used to do are gonna start falling off. Things that like smoking or drinking, these are just examples that you did before, and you're trying to go into a goal where your better self doesn't do those things. Those things are gonna start to fall off, and that's gonna make you feel like, I don't know what my life is. Like, I feel like everything feels new. I don't know how to step into that, but you have to embrace that. Embrace the change that comes with you being intentional, that comes with you saying no to the things that do not serve you and yes to the things that do. Okay? And then, kind of said this in the beginning as well. When you align yourself with the character of God, you become more like Jesus. And in turn, I forgot I wrote this down, child. I shot myself with this one. Okay. When you align yourself with the character of God, you become more like Jesus. First of all, who is God? Find out who God is. Like, and this is for my people that, for my believers out there. Find out who God is. And when I say that, what are the characteristics of God? And these last couple of months, I keep talking about these last couple of months because, baby, the last couple of months have been life-changing. I feel like a whole new person. Okay, but you have to understand, like, when you understand the character of God and align yourself, you become more like Jesus, and in turn, become the person that God created you to be. Oh my gosh. In turn, become the person that God created you to be. We have to keep the goal in mind. Understand that this life is not ours. This life, and I was just telling my best friend this, like, listen, I understand that this life is not mine. I know that what I do in this life, I have to remove myself from the situation and understand that I'm doing this for the kingdom of God, for the believers, for God's children that need this. Like, we are all here to help each other. And so when you align yourself with the character of God, become more like Jesus, literally, you will literally feel yourself shift into the person that God created you to be. And when I tell you that is the most beautiful feeling in the world, it is the most beautiful feeling in the world. Okay? Now, being intentional will be uncomfortable. Being intentional will require you to be disciplined. Like I said, the thing of saying yes and saying no, when to say yes and when to say no. And I just want to end it with this, okay? When you begin to scratch the surface of who God created you to be, and you start to move as that person, you no longer care what other people think. you no longer care what other people think. I swear to you, it may cross your mind, but it's not going to stop you. It's a thing of feeling fear, but doing it anyway. You have to understand, like, this is me. I've been so intentional. I've been working on myself. I've been doing the work. I've been doing this. I've been doing that. And when you get aligned with that person and truly start to become who God created you to be, I am telling you, you're going to be like, listen, I don't care. Listen, I'ma do what God told me to do, boo. Hey, period. Like, seriously, y'all. But that's pretty much it. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I hope you got something out of this video. If you liked it, please like, comment, subscribe, follow me on my social media, right? And yeah, I love y'all. I will see y'all in the next video. We on the road to 500, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.